country.
Good evening and welcome to the news across the country. Federal government rolls out timetable for 62nd Independence Anniversary. Osun APC implores successful candidate of primary election to collect nomination forms. OSBC report of the week takes a look at people's reaction to court order on ASU's resumption. IG orders prosecution of professor for assaulting policewoman. The federal government today released its timetable for the celebration of the 62nd Independence Anniversary of Nigeria. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, released this during a short press conference in Abuja. He said the press conference kickstarts the programs lined up to commemorate the 62nd Independence Anniversary. According to him, there will be a church service on Sunday at the National Christian Center, Central Business District, Abuja. This will be followed by a public lecture focused on national unity on Thursday at the State House Conference Hall. On Friday, there will be a special Jumat prayer at the National Mosque, Central Business District in Abuja. On Saturday, October 1st, there will be a presidential broadcast. Later on the same day, there will be a military parade at Eagle Square, Central Business District, Abuja. The award of national honors will be held as part of the 62nd Independence Anniversary on October 11 in Abuja. Alhaji Mohammed says celebrating the country's independence anniversary is a reminder that in spite of the challenges faced as a nation, Nigerians have remained resilient and committed to the unity of the country, while reiterating the commitment of the present administration to promoting the unity, security, and stability of the country. The federal government has faulted former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's agenda on how he will tackle insecurity if he wins the 2023 presidential election. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, spoke on this at a media briefing today in Abuja. Reporters said that the minister was reacting to the recent economic blueprint unveiled by Atiku, the opposition People's Democratic Party's presidential candidate in the 2023 elections. The minister said it was surprising that what the former vice president could only reel out in his economic blueprint was what the Buhari's government had been doing in the past 7 years. The minister said Buhari's administration had that engaged in massive infrastructure development in spite of paucity of resources should not be denigrated by an opposition that lacked originality. Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal has taken over as the chairman Nigerian Governors Forum (NGF). The chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum and Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi today at the National Economic Council meeting held at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja, transferred power of the NGF to the Governor of Sokoto State, Honorable Aminu Tambuwal. A statement by the Director, Media and Public Affairs of NGF, Abdulrazak Bello Bakindo, indicates that Tambuwal has served meritoriously and harmoniously as Vice Chairman of the Forum under Dr. Fayemi in the last 4 years. Dr. Fayemi formally hands over the chairmanship of the NGF to Honorable Aminu Tambuwal on October 16th. In the meantime, the All Progressives Congress APC Osun State chapter has released the names of its chairmanship candidate for the forthcoming local government election in the state. The names are contained in a statement by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Political Matters, Uluomo Sunday Akiri, on behalf of the State Party Chairman, Prince Boyega Famodu. According to the release, the final list was a product of APC primary election and primary election appeal committee report. The statement asked all the successful candidates to immediately collect their nomination forms from the APC Situation Room. This is the news across the country coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Voice of the West, Nigeria. Now our midnight message. You may not have been responsible for your heritage, but you are responsible for your future. Beware of what you do today. For over 6 months now, the Association of Teaching Staff of Universities had been on strike with academic activities paralyzed. But just yesterday, the Industrial Court ordered the association to put an end to its strike and its members to return to classes. OSBC Report of the Week takes a look at the court order and people's perspectives to it. Said Adeboje has the details.
In the last 6 months, one of the challenges that came the way of the country called Nigeria was the Academic Staff Union of University ASU nationwide strike. Specifically, ASU has been on strike since February 14 to press home the demand for improved funding for universities, a review of salaries for lecturers, among other issues. Several meetings between ASU and the federal government within that time frame ended in a deadlock. The strike prompted the student union to embark on series of protests calling on the federal government to heed the request of ASU. Consequently, the federal government went to court to challenge the strike. The federal government prayed the court for an interlocutory injunction restraining ASU from taking further steps as regards the strike, pending the determination of the substantive suit, maintaining that the strike will result in irreparable damage to Nigerian students and to the country as a whole. The federal government's submission was that Section 18, subsection 1E of the Trade Dispute Act provide that employees cannot be on strike when the matter is before the industrial court. But the counsel to ASU, Mr. Femi Falana, said asking the union to resume work was wrong and scandalous because there would not have been a need to embark on any strike if the federal government had kept to various agreements and MOUs reached in the past. He also said the injunction was not necessary as there is no urgency since the strike had lasted for 7 months. Recently, the industrial court held that the strike is detrimental to public university students who cannot afford to attend private tertiary institutions. The court therefore restrained ASU, whether by themselves, members, agents, privies, or whosoever called from taking further steps and doing any action in continuance of the strike action, pending the hearing and determination of the suit filed. This has continued to generate reactions. In his opinion, a rights activist, Comrade Sakawa Eid, held that the decision of the court is supreme since it is premised on the existing laws. Mr. Waid, however, noted that it is expedient for the federal government and other stakeholders not to jettison the request of ASU because of the court decision, as doing so may wreak more havoc in the education sector than expected.
Section 18, subsection 1, Article E of that section give the court whenever a dispute between employer and employee like ASU and federal government happen, they cannot continue the strike action. Maybe those who coined the law want to ambush the employee and employer. I don't know. But that is the state of our law. However, the right of appeal is still there. And ASU by now should try and call off, even if they don't want to work. So at the moment, if those who have been beneficiaries of the court in the past are now insulting the court because this is not in favor of them, then we are not ready for democracy, because democracy stands on the rule of law.
Same was the opinion of a public affairs analyst, Mr. Larry Fadansi. He appealed to ASU to abide by the court injunction in the interest of an average Nigerian seeking quality education.
You are telling people to go back to work. They are saying they won't go back if they are not paid anymore. That's why in the game saying we are still going to continue negotiation. If you are telling people the court has said go back, you must go back and continue a slavish labor for people who are stealing money. That will not happen. So I can almost predict that yes, ASU will come back and they will call another strike. I'm predicting that. I know that's what happened.
Mr. Fadansi, however, noted that the federal government should eschew deceit in responding to the request of ASU. For OSBC Report of the Week, this is Said Adeboye reporting.
General Manager Osun Waste Management Agency, Mr. Fatai Oyewole, has commended Osun State Government for the drainage system constructed in various towns in the state in order to prevent flooding. Mr. Oyewole gave the commendation today while featuring on an OSBC weekly issue-based program, Arole Akpakon. Speaking on the climatic condition of the world today, he said God created varieties of things, including the rainy season. According to him, the land was created for man's use, but nowadays, some people don't value it. The onward boss enjoined people to plant trees around their houses to serve as windbreaker and to also check erosion. Mr. Oyewole urged people of the state to complement government effort and adhere strictly to the rules and regulations of the Waste Management Agency. He advised residents of the state to form the habit of dumping their waste products appropriately in order to prevent pollution.
Don't forget the penalty for dumping indiscriminately. If you are caught, the law says the minimum is 5,000 and you can go as high as 1 million naira. If for an organization, you might be charged 100 to 1 million naira. If it's an individual, 5 to 500,000 naira. But don't forget, if you are fined, every fine in the environment is criminal. It's not civil. And people know the meaning of criminal, the total civil. So it is for you now to liaise with the contractor assigned to your area. And that individual will take the true amount of money from you to be cutting away regularly your refuse in an agreed time, because you have to fill a form. They calculate your fee based on distance, based on frequency and volume. These are three parameters that are very germane when they want to put a bill on you.
7 days power-packed revival organized by Christ Apostolic Church, Mountains of Grace, Ejigbo Assembly, begins tomorrow and ends on Thursday, the 29th of this month. A statement by the host minister, Prophet Williams Adeyemo, otherwise known as Baba Majiyamo, indicates that the revival program is built for 5 in the evening. Venue of the program is Ika, Eyenkole Street, behind Eyenkole Mosque, Ejigbo in Osun State. The theme of the 7 days power-packed revival expected to be graced by other anointed ministers of God and who is who in the society is a new light in Ejigbo. Moletitun nínú ìlú Ejigbo. Suspected killer herdsmen reportedly invaded Michia village in Mbagara Council Ward and Mo village in Nkembwaga Swarev Council Ward, all in local government area. Suspected killer herdsmen had also last month attacked several villages in Guma local government area and killed about 20 people. There were separate attacks on Michia and Mo villages, but carried out simultaneously, leading to the deaths of 15 people. A local who did not want to be mentioned told reporters on the phone that the attackers stormed the villages at midnight, killing 12 people at Michia community and 3 people at Mowo village, with about 13 people injured. Confirming the attack, the Commissioner of Police, Wale Abbas, said that 10 people were killed and 8 injured. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba Akali, has strongly condemned the assault on a female police officer, Inspector Teju Moses, by her principal, who is a legal practitioner and human rights activist, Professor Zainab Duke Abiola, and her domestic staff, one Rebecca Enechido, as well as a male suspect currently at large. First spokesperson Olumiwa Adejobi made this known today. He noted that Professor Zainab Duke Abiola, an embassy-born activist, previously assaulted a orderly in company of some accomplices on Tuesday at a residence in Gariki, Abuja, due to the refusal of the orderly to breach professional ethics by carrying out menial and domestic chores at her house. The IGP has directed the express prosecution of the arrested suspects, who are currently in police custody, as the preliminary investigation shows overwhelming evidence of culpability on the part of the professor and her domestic staff. Adejobi said the IGP has equally tasked the investigative team to ensure that the fleeing suspect is arrested and made to face the wrath of the law. He, however, noted that it was pertinent to clarify that the suspect, Zainab, who name drops the IG, as family members and other officers in the top hierarchy of the force, has no acquaintances with the police in any form, as spelled on social media. A woman has been killed after a truck crushed her at the First Gate bus stop along the Lagos-Badagry Expressway today. The truck veered off the road and climbed the car where the woman, a beggar, was sitting. According to a trader whose business is close to the scene of the accident, Martin Zainab, Some transport workers who wanted to collect money from the truck driver made him veer off the road. He added that the truck has been evacuated into the compound of the Lagos State Traffic Management Agency, while the body of the woman has been moved too. And now to sport. The Nigerian Scrabble Federation has invited 28 players to camp ahead of qualifiers for 14th African Championship scheduled for Osaka, Zambia. Adeyemi Abodeni has more on sports updates.
The Super Eagles camp at the Marriott Hotel in Constantine has hit the 100% mark with the arrival of goalkeeper Francis Uzoho and defender Ebube Duru yesterday night. Rivers United left back Duru was called up following injuries to a number of players, including defender Leon Balogun, team captain Ahmed Musa, and forwards Henry Onyekuru and Samuel Chukwueze are the other players knocked out by injuries. Head coach Jose Pesero has approved a training game against Algeria's B squad on Saturday in order to see a number of new and returning players in action ahead of the official game against the Desert Forces of Algeria in Oran on Tuesday evening. The match against Algeria's B squad will start at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, while the official game on Tuesday will commence at 8 in the evening. Tuesday's clash will be only the second ever friendly match between Algeria and the Super Eagles, when both teams clashed in a 2006 FIFA World Cup qualifying match in Oran in September 2005. The Super Eagles ran out 5-2 winners. Meanwhile, head coach of the Super Eagles, Jose Pesero, has expressed his excitement over the team's return to camp. The team resumed camping in Constantine, Algeria on Monday and observed their first training on Tuesday under the manager. He said that he is looking forward to the week of hard work. In the meantime, ahead of the 2023 Champions of African Nations CHAN competition, the Confederation of African Football CAF inspection team has arrived at Algiers, capital of Algeria. The delegation consists of technical experts in various operational areas and are expected to visit the three cities that will host the championship. They will also inspect stadiums, technical facilities, hotels, hospitals, and other areas that will be used during the competitions. The draw for CHAN has been fixed for the first day of next month, while the tournament will start from the 13th of January to the 4th of February next year. Nigeria's Scrabble Federation has invited 28 players to camp ahead of the national qualifiers for the 14th African Championship scheduled for Lusaka, capital of Zambia, from the 21st to 24th of next month. The players are expected to arrive at Abuja on Tuesday, while the qualifiers will begin on Wednesday. Top 24 ranked Scrabble players and some wild cards will duel for 10 tickets to participate at the Pan-African Championship in Lusaka. Nigeria has won the past 12th edition of the championship, losing only in 2021 as the runners-up. The federation will also use the opportunity to hold its board meeting and organize the Abuja National Open Championship, which is slated for 1st and 2nd of next month at the NKO Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. Sport update returns tomorrow. My name is Adeyemi Aboden.
And to end the news across the country, here again are the major points. The federal government today released a timetable for the celebration of the 62nd independence anniversary of Nigeria. Osun State chapter of All Progressives Congress APC has rolled out the list of candidates that have qualified to represent the party in their various local government areas in the forthcoming local government election. OSBC Report of the Week takes a cursory look at the court order and people's perspectives that ASU should put an end to a strike and its members to return to classes. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Baba, has strongly condemned the assault of a female police officer, Inspector Teju Moses, by her principal, who is a legal practitioner and human rights activist, Professor Zainab Duke Abiola, and her domestic staff, one Rebecca Enechido, as well as a male suspect currently at large. That was the news across the country, edited by Timitope Olayiwola and delivered by Olushola Egbodofo. For more about us, you can visit www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening. Good evening.